All right, here are all our drains and vents tied into the old. Come around here to the kitchen, vent back. All of our hot water has been insulated, and our stub out connections have been anchored both on the face with the roofing nail. It has a thin head, and then some construction adhesive on either side here, as well as a hold down clamp with screws. And we've got fire foam in all of the oversized holes to close those up, as well as the big oversized holes that we use to go around corners here. And we didn't make any fittings, no elbows for our water supply in our corners. We skipped that so we don't have any, we lose that potential for leaks and for failures there. And then if you come down here, we've got our T's. Oh, it's hard to see here, but our T's, our push to connect T's in place of our old soldered elbows here and down here where the elbow went back around out of the hot water tank. Now there's a push to connect T, and we soldered this assembly here where you can now open this valve to supply up and around the hot side. And we've got our labels on our hot manifolds that go out. And same for up here, you can open this valve and send cold potable water to all of our cold stuff, which is also labeled. That stuff can be turned on and off here. If you're doing a manifold, I like to buy these ones with valves right on them, and that way you have isolation here and at the equipment and elsewhere. You never know what you might get into here, trying to think ahead. And then we've got this other connection here that can be opened when you close off the supply of hot water from this indirect tank. Another hot water tank, another indirect tank, or an on-demand water heater can be plumbed in here, so that can be used for hot water in this unit. And if it should fail, or either of these fail, it could be, in your slippers, you can come down and just switch one from one to the other, or, for equipment in the future. And actually, now that I think about it, depending on what you do here, you may be able to run the instant hot water to supply the rest of the house here in the interim. Like if you were to pop this off and this off and take the indirect away, and you came back with a push to connect elbow, if you just put a push to connect elbow here to there, then you can supply hot water back to the house with whatever's coming in off of that. So there's some nice flexibility here. We tightened up the blower motor fan on the boiler, which pushes the exhaust fumes gases out of this exhaust, because that was rattling a little bit. This model has a squirrel cage fan on it, whereas if you had a real chimney that went up out there, that would have an updraft effect and it would draw those gases out. But we didn't know what was making the noise, but we figured it out. The water's all back on and everything's back to running, and there's no pools or puddles down here, which is really, really good. And I think everything's looking pretty sharp there. And one more thing, I guess, over here for the shower, we ended up right on a stud. Your shower controls and all of that are normally right in the middle of the end of your tub. And to be there, not only is our, once again, let's turn the flash on. Ooh, can't turn the flash on, battery's low. But we had to actually swing over to the side with a street elbow here to avoid going up with the shower right into the stud. And we just went up and around and back into our little drop ear up there. There you go. Full water supply and drainage for this in-law suite built into this area of this existing house. All right, we'll see ya.